wizards and witches, wherever you dwell. Give us a hint by ringing the bell.
Wind's in the east, mist coming in. Like something is brewing, about to begin.
This candle blessed us with a miracle.
Take it, Kronk. Feel the power.
Oh, I can feel it.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
There's no mystical energy field controls my destiny. It's all a lot of simple tricks and nonsense.
Well, I happen to be a wizard, a soothsayer, a prognosticator.
Some all-powerful genie. You probably can't even get us out of this cave.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord.
That one kind of just abruptly ended.
The intros always abruptly end.
There's no fade, no nothing.
Yeah, Duke.
How we doing?
I'm great. I am wonderful. Good, great, grand.
Well, thanks, Steve. Oh wait, you're not Steve. You're James.
I'm James.
And we got Shaz, and hopefully we have Zach. And who knows, maybe we even have a Lou joining us from the park.
That'd be wonderful.
But as some of you may have seen from last night, and if you didn't, we're trying to make a change here on our, technically this is our podcast, our Discover Magic podcast, which we only do in video format, so it's just on our Signs of Music channel. But we don't do the news. We don't talk about
random crap.
Yeah, random things here and there. We don't talk about the guy who's running around naked on a ride or anything. Like, that's not us. You can get that stuff elsewhere. What we do is talk about like topics or like stuff that, is important, like Josh tomorrow becoming the CEO, that kind of stuff. So we don't ever want to force an episode on to you guys. And a lot of our podcasts recently have been what we call our concilium, which is where we talk about a topic. But back in the day when we first started, we did interviews. And so we had our regular podcast and then we had our concilium podcast. We are doing an interview with Mr. James Kemp here.
Well, hi guys. I'm happy to be here. I've been on the show before.
You've been on the show before. We know you, but we don't know all of you.
Don't know you.
Yeah.
So let's get to know you.
Yeah. Well, that's always a good thing, getting to know people. It's how connections are made. And, for me, this is exciting because I get asked to do interviews, I should say, from time to time. And not a lot gets talked about, but the Disney side of things. And that's great. Everybody knows I'm a huge Disney person. I'll come and I'll wreck trivia, and that's fine.
Maybe not this weekend.
No, maybe not this weekend. This weekend, I know a little bit about Universe, a little bit about Knots, but I don't know everything. And that's okay. And that's fine. But there's a lot more to me. Like I said in the chat last night, I'm one of the most interesting people you'll probably ever meet. I've lived like 8 lives in 41 years. So that's wonderful. That's a good thing.
You're not a cat, are you?
I lost connection.
Yeah. There you go.
Why is this happening?
That's because you said the sun was shining and your internet was going to be great.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I say the internet's going to be great, and it does this. But no, I mean, life is pretty simple, and I grew up in a small coastal town in California. I come from literally, I call it God's country. I grew up 10 minutes from the redwoods and 10 minutes from the ocean, and a small community called McKinleyville, California, named after President McKinley, of all people. But it's, if you've been to California or you know anything about it, it's just literally 15 minutes from Eureka, California, right up the coast. And Disney was like a dream for me as a kid. It was, I was 6 the first time I went, but it was 14 hours, 12, 14 hours to get there. So we only went every few years.
Yeah.
And my life was really, it was simple. It was, I grew up a 90s kid, a latchkey kid. I did whatever the hell I wanted when I wanted to do it. I was an only child.
You didn't have a phone on you constantly, and no one cared.
No, no.
Before it got dark, you were good.
Yeah, no. And I was talking to my mom about this the other day. I remember I used to call Colette, just say, "Hey, Mom, I'm here," and hang up real fast.
Yeah,
that's the way I lived life.
I'm over. Okay.
Yeah, I'm over here. Bye, and hang up before the charges took place. I rode my bike everywhere in my small town of like maybe 3,000 people. I didn't have big box stores around me. It was all local community. People watched over me. And by the time I was like 10, I started doing theater as a theater kid. My very first play was through a place called Del Arte Community Theater. It was came to our school, and it's called the Star Cleaners Reunion. It was about a bunch of elves that cleaned stars. It was the most random play ever, but it was fun. I had 2 lines. It was neat. It was different. It was my first taste into being like a showman in a sense.
The fun thing is I did stage crew, so I was doing everything behind the scenes.
Well, and that was me later on in life. So in middle school, we did Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, where I played actually Humpty Dumpty in the play, which people don't understand. In the Disney version, you don't get Humpty Dumpty. You don't get a lot of the characters that are in the book. Yeah. You get a dumbed down version. So I got to play a big egg fall off a wall. It was fun. It was good. But when I got into high school, I actually started doing more plays and stage crew. I did a little bit of everything. And so we did like we called it Mac High Live, my McKinleyville High School. We did like a Saturday Night Live thing every couple of years. And then we did a couple of, we did a play every other year. So the 2 big plays I was in 12 Angry Men. I played juror number 2, which in the movie was played by the voice of the original Piglet. And then, the second big play I was in was, As You Like It. And I learned how to, it's Shakespeare.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, Shakespeare is a different way of life.
Yeah.
I was told if you can understand Shakespeare, you can do just about anything. And that's true. It's really hard to understand. And if you can understand that, which I did Shakespeare in the Park a couple of years where I kind of fell into positions. Everything I've kind of done in life, I've just kind of lucked out and fallen into positions. For the Shakespeare in the Park stuff I did, I've started out as stage crew. It was really funny you brought up stage crew. And we had to go to a Renaissance festival, and I did that. And the crew got more run than the play because the acting was like the actors weren't really into it a whole lot. They were, but they weren't. It was just like we stole the show. And then a kid ended up dropping out, and they needed somebody, and they said, "You're the guy." I'm like, "Okay, I'll be the guy."
You're the only crew guy who has experience.
Yeah, you're the guy, and that was my first actual paying gig as an actor.
Oh,
at 16 years old. I made $250. It's the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh, $250 for a 16-year-old kid? That's enough for gas and stupid stuff.
Yeah. We did, when I was in crew, it was just high school stuff, so we didn't get paid for anything. Well, actually, that's not true. There was outside shows that would come in and rent the theater. We got paid for those. But...
No, I did crew stuff through the high school. I learned how to run soundboards. I learned how to run lights.
Yeah, I managed a couple shows, but yeah, I did all that too. Yeah,
striking stages, and that was really crazy because people thought, oh, this kid's going to go do different things, and then 2001 happened, 9/11 happened, and I was 16 and a half, 17, and it was my junior year. I remember I was sitting in my geology class, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. It's when all these kids start doing, applying to colleges at 17 and trying to figure out what grants they're going to get. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I told myself I didn't want to go to school. I didn't know that. And then a Marine Corps recruiter showed up in my classroom. And I joined the Marine Corps for 4 years.
Yeah.
And that was a different way of life. And people thought, how in the hell does this kid go from being a theater kid, being an only child, doing all these things, community-based, to now joining the Marine Corps. I was told by people who were my size or smaller, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to make it. You're going to wash out.
Well, hopefully it wasn't because of a girl. That's a whole
No,
other story.
no, well, no, I've
That's
done
my
a lot
brother's
of,
story.
I've done a lot of different things because of girls, but no, it wasn't the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps was my choice. Actually, I remember going, my best friend, I was supposed to go to a basketball game that night. My best friend is 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", and he was playing on the varsity team. He's been working on dunking the basketball, and I was supposed to be at the game. Is the game that he made his first dunk, and I was at the recruiting office, and he called me. He goes, after the game, he goes, "Where the hell were you?" I go, "I'm actually sitting in the Marine Corps recruiting office. I'll be to McKinleyville in 25 minutes." That the next day, I signed my first set of papers at 17 and a half. I went and had my parents' signature, and my mom was in tears. My dad was elated. I grew up with military history in my family. I grew up with so much in life, military-wise, that it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that I would join. But my mom goes, "I just wish you would have joined the Army. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it the right way, in my opinion. I'm going to go do the hardest thing possible and try and make it the best thing possible."
So do you, at that point, I know when my brother did it, he had to do a year of overseas. Did you still have to do that?
I did. So yeah, I deployed. We did 2 7-month pumps out to Iraq. My first deployment. So I graduated boot camp 10 days before Thanksgiving of 2003. And then I left on my first deployment just under a year of me going to boot camp. Because I went to boot camp August 24th, 2003. I remember that date because my grandpa's birthday. I left.
Where did you go to boot camp?
MCRD San Diego. I got to go to sunny San Diego. Yeah.
Same
And
with her brother. Yeah.
And I loved that experience was, I think, the hardest experience in life, but it's the most gratifying experience I've ever had. Being, 5'0". I went in weighing 115 pounds of soaking wet. I had to put on weight to even join. Yeah, it was. I when I signed my first set of papers, I was like 99 pounds. I was tiny as a small kid. So I legitimately, I went and I joined, and then I went to my job school. So I went, had my 10 days leave after boot camp, went to my job school right before Christmas. We had not my job school, but my combat school. They pushed us through quickly. Went home for Christmas. Got to my unit in March. Deployed in August. Came back in February of the next year of 2005. I had 11 months off from deploying, and deployed again in like April. And I came back right about October, November time after my second deployment. I did 2 7-month stints. It was a lot of fun, different experience. I say it's fun in the sense that it was fun being a Marine because you got to do Marine stuff. But after the effects and life stuff, it was hard. Life got hard after getting out, because I did 4 years and out, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I traveled around. I lived in Sacramento with my cousin for a few months. Sacramento was not my favorite place to be. I moved back to the coast, and I got a job working construction. Like I worked road construction for a season, and I said, I'm going to go to college. I went to college for, journalism and communications. I ended up getting 3 college degrees because I felt, why not? But I moved from Eureka, California, my first or second semester in, and I moved to another town in California called Redding, and I moved to Redding, California. I went to Shasta College, and that's why I found my love. I actually ran in the college newspaper. I joined the journalism team there. I started out, Shaz made the joke yesterday, I'm a sports nerd. Yes, I started out as a sports journalist.
So you actually wrote the columns and...
Yeah, I wrote columns. I wrote the columns. I put the paper together. We had a team of, I think, 12 or 13 people in that first semester. They didn't have a sports guy, and they're like, "You're going to be our sports editor." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I know nothing about editing, but I'm going to learn. Why not?" And I went and did all the college events. They'd had an auction every year, so I got to go interview Ken Stabler of the Oakland Raiders. One year, and then so we did that year. The next year, I actually did my first video interview with Caitlyn Jenner, nay Bruce. So it was Bruce at the time, and one of the most wonderful people I ever met. Kind, giving, caring, cared a lot about athletics because an athletic auction. And then I transferred to University of Phoenix Online because I got a job working for this wonderful thing that we know as Disney. I applied in the winter of 2010, 2011. I can't exactly remember. I applied, and by January, I was moving from Reading to Anaheim. And I worked for the company for a season. I went through the relationship breakup, and it forced me back north. But the time I spent at Disney, I wouldn't trade for the world. I made some wonderful friends. I learned so much.
And you worked on an attraction that we all love.
I worked on 2 attractions we all loved.
Oh, okay. What was the other one then? Because I only know the Haunted Mansion.
Splash Mountain.
Oh, you did too.
That was my second attraction. So my first. So I showed up. So the funny thing is, I tell people that I don't know how traditions are today, but when I showed up to my interview, I had to drive down from Reading because you go down for your initial interview, and then they'll let you know in a few weeks if you got the job or whatever. So I think I pigeonholed myself in that interview to begin with, because I show up in like a 3-piece suit. I don't have my jacket. I just have a sport coat that I put over it, or a zip-up jacket. There's like a black Dickies coat that went with that, everything. And I show up and I have a vest, a tie, a shirt, slacks, black shoes.
You're like, so where do you want to work?
Well, and they ask you, what are the list of attractions that you would want to work if you got hired here? I go, well, Haunted Mansion, Splash, Jungle Cruise, because I have this sense of like, well, you guys see my humor. I am very dry.
You'd make a really good skipper.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would have loved to be a skipper. Being a skipper would have been one of my favorite things in the world. But they called it landlocked. So when you get landlocked, oh, Lucky, be quiet. My dog is in the garage with me, yipping away in my office. But yeah, so they said I got my interview done. I went and did my, I got accepted. So you go down for traditions, and they don't tell you what job you want to get until you sit in this boardroom. It's a boardroom. Literally, they take you to a boardroom and they put you around the table of everybody, and they tell you, hey, this is what you are this is your job. And they slide you an envelope. It's like an offer. It's like, and you open it up in silence. You're looking at it. You're like, oh, this is great. And then my eyes lit up. They got wide. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be awesome. And it happened to be Haunted Mansion. People around me, they got Jungle Cruise. They got Indy. They got Pirates. Some people got Splash. And then, you go into the auditorium and Mickey comes out and you start bawling like a baby. And that's always fun. It's no joke. Like, they build it up. And the idea is you go through traditions. You learn all about the Disney company before they give you your offer for your job and where you're going to be. They tell you what it's going to be like. They have you group with people. And one of the games we played was, how many Disney characters can you name in a minute? And our group named 105 in a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I was rattling them off like the top of my head, just everything I could. I started with the Fab Five, went to like Peter Pan characters. Like, I named, I think, probably 20 in 10 seconds. So I'm like just rattling them off. And so that was the first thing. And then they tell you, oh, welcome to the Disney company. And Mickey comes out and everybody's like, oh my God, we're actually cast members. And it's like, it's a real emotional thing.
And then he rips off his head. He's like, I'm a cast member too.
I'm a cast member too now. I wish that would have been awesome, actually. Right out of American Horror Story, Mickey without a face. So, well, yeah.
Well, okay, so let's talk about Disney for a bit, because that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you first get your love for Disney?
My first love of Disney was I got bit by the bug at 6 and a half. I went to Disneyland, late 89, early 90s, somewhere in there. And my grandparents had taken all the grandkids. I was the youngest grandkid at that point. My mom, my dad, me and my grandparents, we did that road trip from Northern California down. And we stayed off property. I don't even remember where we stayed at. I just know we went to the park, and it was just this greatest thing in the world to me. It was this amazing journey of going on attractions. That the ones that stuck out in my head were Mansions, Pirates, Small World, Splash, going to Tom Sawyer's Island and running around Fort Wilderness, meeting Mickey for the very first time on Main Street. That was like mind blowing. Getting to see this character that I grew up watching. I mean, I remember watching Disney cartoons as a kid. I remember watching Disney Channel when it was Dumbo's Flying Circus, on, and hearing Jim Cummings' voice for the first time. I remember watching, the cartoons and the movies, but that bug really bit me when I went to the park at 6, and I went again at 12. But it like that love was garnered through my family, because it was like that was the part of the American dream. If you can go to Disneyland, you've kind of done something in your life, as a kid. And I don't know, there was something about Disney that just made me want it more. And then after the second trip, my parents made it a point to go every other year to Disney until I graduated high school. So I think I was 12 or 13. I was 12. I was in 6th grade when we went the second time. And we went back with my grandparents. And I remember specifically when I got my first taste of freedom. My grandpa was one of these people that loved to sit on Main Street 2 hours before the parade or whatever it was. And I was antsy, to 11, 12 years old, wanting to go ride attractions and go explore the park. And I'm like, Mom, I want to go. Can I go? And my grandpa was like, oh, no, you're sitting here, damn it. You're sitting here. My mom's like, no, Dad, let him go. He's not going. We're in the safest place in the world at this point. And I got to go.
No.
Yeah. And I got to go explore. And I remember the first attraction I went and rode by myself was Indy. I went and rode Indy by myself. It was the most fun thing. My mom said, you have until this time. I had a watch on, so I remember what time it was. She goes, you need to be back here within, by the time parade starts. And I was off to the races. And I went and rode, I think, everything possible that I could with fast passes and everything. And that's when it really took hold. That's when the love of Disney, I think, really took hold, was I was able to go do it myself. I was able to explore it. And it was awesome because my mom would like close the park down with me. My grandma and my grandpa and my dad would all go back to the hotel. My mom's like, let's hang out and let's go finish the park. And we'd close the park out. That was like one of my favorite things to do, is just close the park out with my mom, watch fireworks or eat a churro or do something stupid. I love people watching at the parks.
Yep.
One of my favorite things in the world to do. At the time, they used to have a lot of international tour groups, Chinese tour groups, Japanese tour groups, and you could always tell when they were off doing something. A little flag would go up like this, and they'd all flock together. And my mom and I just sit there and eat popcorn and laugh, because this is free entertainment within the entertainment industry. This is so much fun. So that bug really happened, and it got me good. I think 6, I got my first taste. 12, I really got the full experience of it. Because I remember we went to Knott's too, that very first trip. I remember riding on the old stagecoach they had in the dirt. Ride the stagecoach. I remember the robbers on the train robbing us and trying to take my money, and I told them, no, you ain't taking my money.
So they always look at you too, like, you don't want to play along with our thing.
Yeah, I was 6, so I didn't know any better. I was just being a precocious 6-year-old. No, I ain't giving you my money. I had like 50 cents on me.
Let me ask you this, because we all talk about the Disney magic. When you went to Knott's, how did that feel compared to Disney in general?
Well, so at 6, I couldn't tell the difference. When I was older, when I was 12 and I could remember it, it was so different. The experience of Knott's is something completely different. It's not that it's not got its own little taste of magic. No, Walter Knott did a great job with what he did, but there's something about Disney and the magic that is created, and understanding that now as an adult and even as a former cast member, that's the emphasis of how you create the magic. That emphasis is put there so much more, and so much more like willing to give back. And the one thing I learned in theater is the only way you're going to get anywhere is by giving back, being a gracious actor, giving back and giving to those things. And the Disney cast members understand that to a higher level, because Walt put it out there that without these people, we are nothing. We don't have, a park. We don't have movies. We don't have these things. So the idea of that Disney magic is real. And I believe in it wholeheartedly. When you step through those gates, there's just something different than Knott's. Knott's, it's like, okay, it's cool.
Cool.
It's different, but it's definitely not the same. It's definitely.
I find that after being in UK theme parks, because obviously I didn't hit Disney until I was in my 40s. So my experience of a theme park growing up was the crappy ones we have in the UK. And I don't know, it's like a different world compared to going to Disney.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, no, so here's the question I have for you, Shaz.
What?
DLP, do you feel the same sort of magic than when you come to like Disneyland?
Absolutely. It's not quite the same as Disneyland, but I feel more at home and feel more magical stepping into the Disneyland park at DLP than I ever do going to the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. I think it's because it's smaller, it just feels more like a Disney park, whereas Disney World just feels huge and expansive.
And that's awesome. And this is, everybody knows, if you listen to my podcast with my good friend Josh Dunn, Operation Magic, I am the Disneyland guy, and I will fight tooth and nail. I always say I fight out of a paper bag because the fact is he's a Disney World guy, and I get it. Disney World is awesome, and it was Walt's other dream that was fulfilled by his brother. I get that. I love that.
But it's not the same.
And that's why I tell people, I go, I get it. You've been to Disney World, you may have been to Disneyland, but if you can understand the Disney history and what it took to get that park to fruition, you would understand why people who are from California or from the West Coast swear by Disneyland over World. Because, it's our home park. Yeah, we started there. But you don't understand the magic that it took and the way the people were made to feel. Hey, there's Zach!
Hello. Sorry I'm late. Sorry, apologize.
You're rubbish.
Yeah.
No, I'm terrible.
It happens. But better late than never. Better late than never. But so
that's what
the magic.
Oh, he's gone again. See, look, you turn up. You've interrupted his internet again.
It happens. It happens. But no, it's one of those things that I feel that the magic of Disney is very different than any other theme park. Even Universal. I even throw it to the Universal sphere, because you can step into Universal. And the way I looked at Universal that's the first time I ever went when I was 12, is I look at Universal as that's where movies are made. That's how movies were. And that's how they pitched Hollywood, that's where the movies are made.
Yeah.
And you step in there and you expect the spectacle of movies, and in some cases you're let down because you see the Blues Brothers, they have their stage show, or you see Doc Brown, or whatever but it's not the same as seeing Mickey or Pinocchio or Peter Pan or even Pocahontas. My dad, I'll take a line out of my dad's book. The most beautiful Disney character and princess that you ever see walk through the park in the 90s was Pocahontas. And I think about that. I go, you don't get that at Universal. You don't get that at Knott's. You don't get the characters. You get Camp Snoopy, and you get the Peanuts characters. Yeah. And I love Peanuts, but they're not Disney characters.
Yeah.
It certainly is a different feeling, isn't it? For sure, it really is.
I'm gonna say this, Shaz, even though you might not like it, but once he said Jim Cummings, all I heard was Jeff doing his.
Oh yeah, Jeff. That's okay. So, James, do you have any traditions that you do when you get to the park? Like we always ride a ride or go to the first or eat something.
Oh man, so I have a lot of traditions because I'm a traditionalist.
No,
I'm very traditional in the things that I do when I go to the park. So I used to rope drop all the time. I don't really do that, but one day now, rope dropping is a pain in the ass. It's not like it used to be.
It's crappy when you get older, and I'd rather go late and stay till close.
Yeah. As long as I make it before 10 o'clock, because one of my new traditions I discovered 3 or 4 trips ago. Tomorrowland has this wonderful breakfast burrito, and
the Roundup.
No, screw the Roundup.
Oh wait, no, you said Tomorrowland. Sorry.
Yeah, no, at the Galactic Grill. No,
yeah.
And it's like sausage, eggs, bacon, hash browns, and it's just
Oh, that sounds good.
it's like a basic burrito with gravy inside of it. I think or you get gravy on the side. I'm like, I have to have that every morning now with the La Valentina or the Cholula that they give you in the packets. I eat that. I'm happy. It gets me through the park to lunch. I always do Plaza Inn. I always have to do that at least once. Plaza Inn chicken. One of my favorite
Not
meals.
done that yet. That's on the list for this time.
It's one of my favorite meals that I've ever had at the parks. Lunch or dinner. I like dinner because it's a little more crowded, but you get the atmosphere of Disney at night in there. I always.
Have you tried the sausage, the pretzel sausage at the breakfast window?
I have not.
Oh, that one's pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Another
egg and sausage inside the cheesy pretzel bread.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, you had that, didn't you? When we was together.
I had the regular.
I don't. Another thing I've started doing is because if I do Disneyland one morning, I'll do DCA the next. If I make DCA in time for breakfast, I go to the shawarma cart and get their breakfast shawarma with their hot honey, and it's so amazing.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's really good. But so the food traditions, they're all over the place. I try and do Blue Bayou at least once now. I love the atmosphere of Blue Bayou.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be open when we go in May.
So the first attraction I always usually hit is Mansion. I don't, if it's, because usually it used to be I'd run to Indy, but I've come to the realization Indy doesn't open up half the time in the morning.
No.
And same with Jungle Cruise. They're hit and miss if they open up right away. Whether it's not enough skippers for the cruise or just Indy being typical Indy and not opening.
Yeah.
So you can always go to Old Reliable unless something's going on. It's under refurb or Master Jack is in the hollowed halls of Mansion and ruining the ride. You can usually do Mansion right away. I try and do that. If I'm there at the holidays, I try and go opening of holiday week or opening night because the opening of Small World is wonderful when they do that first lighting of that attraction for the holidays. I try and do that if I'm there for the holidays. DCA, I always have to ride Soarin'. That's one of the first rides I'll go ride because that was my dad's favorite attraction. There's some things like Golden Horseshoe, like nostalgia things for me, like Golden Horseshoe, though the review's not in there or Billy Hill's not in there. It's now Crazy Carl over at Knott's. I do that because that was my dad's favorite place. Quick story about Golden Horseshoe. It got to the point where my mom and I got so sick of going, but it's now something I have to do because my dad would every day for lunch have to go sit and watch Billy Hill and the Hillbillies. And it got to the point we hadn't gone for 3 or 4 years. And, we'd sit in Walt's booth. That was just something that my parents liked to do, sit in Walt's booth off to the side of the stage. And they'd always ask, where are people from? And we'd go so much during our trip. We'd be there 5 days that they would ask, oh, we see our friends from Eureka are back. And so we hadn't gone in a couple of years. And they got to know our family pretty well. And we the first thing that we did was we went to that review. We sat down and they asked the question. My dad didn't even get his hand up. He goes, oh, good to see our friends from Eureka are back after a long layoff. And I'm like, oh, damn it all. This is when you've kind of made it in Disney lore, but you haven't. Yeah. So that was always the tradition that we used to always do. Big Thunder, I have to ride a bunch of times because that was one of my grandma's favorite rides. So I go to things that were nostalgia for my family members more than myself anymore. When Splash was around, I would always ride that consistently 3 or 4 times in a row. And they're just little things like that I do. The traditions it really depends on the time of day, time of year that I go, how it happens. I always, when I took my kids, it's always I take them on things that I know that they're going to like my son, my oldest son. We rode when we were there in 22. We rode Splash Mountain, I think 10 or 12 times in a row.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Because it was the end of the night, and it was just him and I. So we just go pop through single rider, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're fine, single ride that." And then we got to like ride 6, and we were drenched. I go, "Do you want to go ride Winnie the Pooh?" Rode Winnie the Pooh 3 times. Went back and rode it like another 6 times over on Splash. That was how we closed our night out, and we just walked back to the Disneyland hotel to stop and went just like zombies. Just so
that's so cool. I love that.
So Disney has been a huge part of who I became, even working there. Like I said earlier, I learned a lot, and I learned what not to do as a guest. I learned how to create magic, because the question of magic always comes up. How do you keep magic going, or how do you feel about the magic, or is the magic different than other parks? And it is very different. And after you learn how to create that magic, it is very different. And when my older children decided they wanted to, they started to not believe in it. I go, but you have to believe in it for your brothers. You have to believe in it for the people who are here, because the moment you strip that magic down and you strip it away, then what is left?
Yeah.
And I remember, this is one of my favorite stories I tell as being a cast member, besides working at Mansion and working at Splash. I was working parades. I was working, it was, oh gosh, it was Mickey Soundsational. And they have all the Red Vesters stationed throughout the main street up by, Fantasyland and all that, and as between the castle and Matterhorn, that walkway where the parade would come through. And I saw this little girl just sitting there bored, just down, feeling like she was, any kid, I've seen it a million times working at the parks. The kids being bored, sitting there waiting. I remember being a young age and remember, I hated sitting at parades. I remember my first Taste of Freedom. I went up to that little girl. I looked at their mom. I go, is it okay if she dances? And we danced in the middle of the walkway, having fun. And I made that little girl's day, dancing to the music between Matterhorn and the castle. And within 5 minutes, the parade came by, and she got to see a princess. And she got just that smile to light up a child's world in that moment of boredom, of sitting there. So I remember I likened the experience to when I was a young kid, to when I didn't have the luxury of running free until my mom said, hey, go be free. I remember all of that, and I wanted to put that into every experience. Another experience, there's a couple other fun stories I like to tell. When Pierce Brosnan was walking down Main Street, and we, as a Red Vester, I had what we called the Pouch of Power. It had pins, it had buttons. So trading pins, it had the buttons like celebrating this or whatever it was, or we called them the return passes for rides. And I saw this. I don't know how I timed it. Intuition must have hit. I saw this guy getting close, and he snuggled up his fiance became his fiance in that moment. He went to pull her in close, and I go, oh, this is going to be John. I have to be Johnny on the spot here. I have to have a button ready. I have to have passes for attractions ready. And no sooner did he pop down on one knee, pop the question. I was there as soon as he came up with a just engage or whatever it was, or celebrating this, or can't remember the button. I popped a button. I gave him the passes, and as soon as I did that, Pierce Brosnan, 007 himself, walked by and he goes, good on you and good on them. I go, my day's made. Pierce Brosnan acknowledged me. I'm excited here. This is the greatest thing ever.
That's awesome.
So I had some fun interactions with celebrities. That was always a joy to interact with celebrities at the park. Another one was there's a family from Australia, and they were not having a good afternoon. Whatever it was, I think Splash went down. Like every attraction they went to go get on went down within 20 minutes of each other.
Wow.
And yeah, and they were sitting on parades, and I asked them how their day was, and they had their passes or whatever to get back on those attractions. But I took it a step further. I go, here is some for the rest of the day. I had a stack of them, and I handed them each 5 each. I go, here you go. Go enjoy your day. Don't worry about the lines. I'm sorry that your day has not been the way you had hoped here at Disney. It shouldn't be that way. And I'm sorry that the attractions went down either with you on them or while you were in the line for them in the queue. And it just made their day so much better. I was always one about preserving the magic and making sure the story stayed true. Because I always lived in my head as a cast member, and I tell this to anybody who wants to go be a cast member, what would Walt do? What would Walt do? The idea of that means more to me than anything. I was the first generation of the Disney look change, where you could have a goatee. It wasn't just being clean cut and everything anymore. You could have, facial hair. You could have certain things, but you had standards you had to live by. If you didn't live by those standards, then life became really hard. And I always, when I came into the parks, and I parked in the Catella lot, which is where the third gate is going to hopefully eventually be. I've talked about this on this podcast before on the show. But I parked there. I take the tram, and I'd always come through the old corporate offices up front, and I'd go through the time tunnel where they had memorabilia and pictures and all this stuff. And it was my reminder every day to what it was like to create that magic and to do that magic and to make magic for people. To me, being a cast member was one of my favorite things I've ever done in life, besides being in the military, being a Disney cast member, because I got to create magic daily. When I go to the parks as a guest, I still create that magic because and there's an inherent part of me that still wants to be a cast member, that still lives that and breathes that and walks that. And when I see people not doing that, or cast members not living up to that standard, it breaks my heart, because I'm like, you guys are so far from what it should be.
Yeah, I think there's always kind of two. I always come back to this, and I mean, it's probably no fault of the cast member. Like, I know, like it was during the Halloween party that I was at Disney World back in 24, and I was getting a snack. It's coming towards the end of the night, and this cast member just looked so done with just everything, and it was like. I was like, I get it. It's like 11:30 at night, but like you're in like the most happiest place on earth, the most magical place on earth. You know, like how can you not have a smile on your face? It's always been a goal of mine to become a cast member. Like it's something I want to do in my future. Whenever I do get a chance to, move to the States or whatever and stuff like that. That's exactly. I've always said it's going to be my retirement plan to become a cast member. Live out my days in Cali or Florida, but just to hear like being able to make someone's vacation is just like I do it every day in my job. Like I work with little ones, so it's like I'm just gonna take that and then just amp it up to like 100 because you're in the most magical place on earth. You're in the most happiest place on earth. Like that's the goal. Like people are coming there. They want to have the best experience possible. It's your job as a cast member to do that. You know, that's what Walt would have wanted. Like you said, James,
That's exactly it. And for me, like here's a great story. So I was working, a lot of stuff happened on parades and during Fantasmic. When I worked Splash and when I worked Mansion, there was some crazy stuff that happened. Don't ever get me wrong on that. But it was late one night and it was a busy evening. And I had one of those stupid little glow things directing traffic, doing this. I'm an air traffic controller. And I had this guest go, God, can't you guys just do anything right? Can't you just get us out of here quicker? I pay your effing salary so you need to hurry up and get us through here. I turn to him, I go, sir, I'm sorry you're having a rough night, but I'm getting you out of here as quickly as I can. But have a magical day. And the connotation, so you hear a cast member say have magical day, that's take the F word. You can use the F word for anything. Have a magical day, you put any connotation, you can use for anything. You could be used for anything. And he knew exactly. I go have a magical day and thank you for paying my salary. And the look on his face when I snapped back with that, he's like, whoa. I kept my demeanor about me. I wasn't angry. I met his energy, but in a Disney sort of way. That's the way we were taught to do things. It's like if people come at you crazy, meet their energy, but with the Disney connotation.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's clever. Like that you don't expect it because they're like, well, the least expected place to have that kind of like. Not behavior, but kind of like you say, matching their energy. It's like they're not going to never expect that. So,
well, no,
some people just expect to push you and make you snap because they want.
Exactly.
Like they go out of their way to try and get you fired or get you reprimanded or something.
Yeah,
it just really
absolutely.
pisses them off when you are overly about.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at like my job as kind of like being able to. Doing that same kind of thing, like you've always got to have that energy about. You've always got to be professional in everything you do. Like I've got some crazy stories about parents and goodness knows what else from my time. And it's like, you've got to be that professional way. You've got to have kind of like that demeanor about you. It's like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way, but like, we'll do everything we can. We're doing our best. You know what I mean? Like, it's same kind of vibe from working in childcare and being a cast member. I assume, like, having that same kind of level, like, people don't expect us to come back with that kind of energy when they're shouting or whatever, or, you know, getting irate. And it's like, actually we can, but we can do it in a more professional way. We don't have to, we don't have to be rude. We can be professionally, you know, equipped for that. So,
well, and that's the one thing I noticed working at Splash Mountain. Like, people would get mad because the line would be so long, and it's a water ride, and it's so people didn't understand that attraction. Even Tiana's, it's the same ride system. It's about a 13 or 14-minute ride, so you have to think there's 60 something boats that are going through there at any given time. They all have to go through there a 14-minute clip. They all have to get out there and feel like, gosh, why is it so hot? The more the heat amps up, the more irritated people get. And they want you to do more about it. And all you could do is be like, I'm sorry, I can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, that's it. There's not nothing you can do. Like, you've got to go through the motion. Like, that's one thing that really confuses me and just like kind of not annoys me, but just like it kind of like confuses me and makes me like, why? Like, you've paid all this money to go to this park. You're not the only ones that have done this same thing at this same time of year.
Like, you knew it was going to be hot.
You knew it was going to be hot.
Just try to enjoy your time. Don't
just enjoy it. And if you're annoyed, fair enough, whatever. I get that, but
that's what
maybe it's because I'm British. But like, keep it inside and then shout later on in your hotel room and then complain about it. You know, like,
well, that's what happened to us in 22. So when I took my family, my mom, my kids, my wife, everybody, we all went. And we sit at the Disneyland Hotel, and we show up. I'm one of these people who are perpetually early. I blame that on my military service. I always have to be like early to everything.
Oh, and totally get it.
We get to the hotel, and my family's like, well, the room's not going to be ready. I go, trust me. You go check in, the room will be get ready. But when we showed up, it was 109 degrees in August. Did not expect that. It's like the hottest, is like the record heat of like in the last 15 years.
Wow.
It happened. I forgot that it was right after COVID, and they didn't have the D23 the year prior. So ended up being D23 week.
Yeah.
And it also happened to be the opening or the second weekend of Oogie Boogie.
Oh, wow.
So it was this culmination of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And my family wanted to get mad. I go, guys, we don't go to the park for a day. We show up. It's just already busy, even in downtown. I go, don't worry about it. We're not going to the park till tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our afternoon in downtown Disney. We'll go get a reservation at Splitsville. We'll grab some drinks at Sam's. We'll go to the hotel. We'll do the pool. We'll do whatever we got to do. Not a problem. That next day in the park, it was a madhouse. It reminded me so much of the 24 hours at Disney that I worked. And it was understanding how to navigate it and understanding how to navigate the crowds. And I don't think, had I had the experience as a cast member, I wouldn't have been able to navigate it the way I should have. And I did. And it's like that understanding, and because people want to get there and they get elbow to elbow, like, you know, cans of sardines, and they don't know how to literally live in that capacity.
Oh, yeah.
And I likened it to, like, after like D23 was done, you know, it thinned out, you know, that for a couple of days, and then we had an Oogie Boogie night, which we went to, and Oogie Boogie was busy, and it's the same sort of thing. It's, you have to just go with what's happening at Disney. You have to understand that you're not the only ones experiencing this, and that the only way to keep magic alive is by understanding what you've gotten yourself into.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You've just got to go with the flow. Like, there's no other way about it. It's always going to be busy no matter what, even when it's like off season. Like,
there is no off season anymore.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. But technically, you know, on paper there isn't. Like, between like January, February time or whatever.
The only off season that they have is from, like you said, January to March, because that's all refurb. That's mainly refurb season.
Refurb season, yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, you've paid to go there. Millions of other people have on the same days that you are. Don't sweat it. Just find.
I never plan anything
it.
anymore. I just go with the flow.
Literally, the only thing I do is I just plan the days that I'm going to each park, and then that's it. That's all. I just go with the flow after that.
I've got staple attractions. If I hit those staples, then I'm solid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so we we talked about magic.
Yeah.
We talked about military. Let's put them together.
All right, so put them together. So Operation Magic, the podcast.
Yes.
So that was born out of an idea. Josh and I were on a different podcast, Sharing the Magic, where I met our good friend Jeff Shaver. And Josh was, so I'd been on the podcast maybe a year at that point when he showed up. And him and I wanted more. We pitched ideas. We were told no. We were kind of poo-pooed on everything. And he came to me one night. He goes, I have this idea. What do you think? He goes, I have this podcast idea that I want to do. I want to mash the idea of military and Disney. And I want to talk about, military struggles, how Disney helps that. But it's not going to be like any other podcast. We're going to be nostalgia. We're going to be pop culture. We're going to do everything. But it's going to continue the idea of magic. You're West Coast. I'm East Coast. It should work very well. And so I said, yeah, let's give it a shot. So we did a couple test episodes, a couple test runs, which I think you could find our very first episode somewhere on the interwebs, somewhere on YouTube. And I said, yeah, let's try it. And we did it, and the episode went well. So we let the idea maturate. We were going to write out the podcast that we were on a little bit longer to see how things worked. We were going to start working on our podcast, and hopefully they would commingle in some way in the same sphere. Something happened on the other podcast. Him and I both said we're done, and we put our energy into this idea of Operation Magic, which, if you guys have ever listened to an episode, you've watched an episode, we are very unhinged. We take our humor. No, me never unhinged.
No.
But we sit there, we take the military humor. We don't care. We are a TVMA style show. F-bombs get dropped. We don't care about views, likes. If you want to be a part of it,
do it because you want to.
If you want to be a part of it and you want to experience what that life is like, awesome. If you want to be a part of some of the madness and the unhinged takes, like Josh's take on how much he hates It's a Small World, but he'll write it for his daughter. That's wonderful. If he wants to be fight out of a paper bag defending Disneyland on any stretch of the imagination, I feel like that scene. What is it? What Avengers movie is it where Captain America is pulling himself up and strapping up the shield, and then he has everybody coming behind him. Hey, my son, my youngest son. Hey, hi, Gavin. Hi, buddy. Gavin, he decides he pops on whenever he wants. But, I feel like Captain America sometimes strapping his shield on before everybody comes behind him when I'm fighting out of that paper bag against Disney World topics. And I really enjoy that idea. I enjoy the idea of being the underdog. And yes, they are cool, Gavin. Operation Magic is, I know, and I know you love hearing the good friends here at Science of Amusement.
But we're kind of similar, and I think that's why we get along very well.
Yeah.
We don't. Yeah, we want the views, but we say we say what we want. We don't care, really.
And
absolutely.
I don't care what people think of our podcast, and neither does Josh.
No, and that's the beauty of it. Like as long as you're having fun doing it, doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Well, and I always hinge back to the idea of what Walt said about the parks and about Disney. Just remember, it all started with a mouse.
Yeah.
Well, Josh and I's idea is, well, this all started with the military. You can blame the military for how we are, how unhinged we are, how we act, but you can also find that magic within it with the love of Disney, because that we love what we do and what we truly care about.
Yeah, for sure.
We care about the parks. He cares about Disney World so much.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny to hear us argue over like, well, this park is right. I go, you've never been to Disneyland. He goes, well, you've never been to World. I go, that might be true. I really don't care that I've never been to Disney World. I kind of get the idea of what it's like from everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I see everybody else, everybody else does their YouTube stuff at the parks, and I get a taste. I get a taste of what that could be like. Yeah, my experience has never been there. Yeah, there's some food items I would love to try at Epcot. I'd love to go drink around the world. That would be fun.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But however, I can go to Trader Sam's and have my tiki drinks and enjoy and enjoy myself there. I can. I have the original mansion. I have the original Pirates. I have all these original attractions that Walt touched. What did Walt touch at Disney World? It's like that's Roy's Park at the end of the day. It's not Walt's Park. It's Walt's ideas, but it's Roy's Park. Yeah. Where can you say that I can see Walt's original bench that he sat on in Burbank at the at the park that he took his kids to and watched them ride attractions?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, hey, you got a new subscriber. Thanks, Gavin, for subscribing to Science of Amusement.
Awesome.
It's like I literally enjoy Disneyland. So yeah, and Leo Garcia said you can drink at the house. That's right, you can drink at the house. And I've been known to do that maybe a time or two during a recording in the summer.
Absolutely.
The funny thing on that, when we first started doing the interviews, I had a thing I called Blue Sky Rectify for Tron reasons, but it was that all of us that had drink like a game, like whenever we drink, tell the people watching to drink, and it was like kind of thing. Never really took off though. But,
and see, for me, what it is I'll get a little bit of rum, and there's a Sprite flavor that I found that I love that comes out in late summer. It's like vanilla Sprite, and it tastes wonderful. It's like vanilla Sprite with a little bit of rum. It's like it's heaven. It's its own little tiki drink in itself.
Nice.
And it's like I'll have one of those, and I'll record an episode, and I'm happy.
And absolutely, yeah.
And it's not like I don't drink. So here's the thing. I don't drink like I used to because the military, that is one thing you're known for doing, is drinking a lot every night. And I don't, I dial it back, and I want to be coherent enough for my show. Secondly. But I want to be able to let the people know that, like, it's okay to be an adult. It's okay to indulge in some of that magic. It's okay to, the magic of a little bit of liquid courage in you allows you to be a little more free in your thoughts sometimes. And I'm okay with that. Don't be afraid if you want to come on and chat while we're doing a live show, because we do a lot of pre-records. We do very little lives. But if you want to be a part of that live and you want to indulge and be unhinged like we are, because if you ever see a Science of Amusement chat, I'm probably the most unhinged commenter you all have.
Hang on, no. I was just typing with Mish. She's with her family, so she can't watch.
Oh, well, Mish.
She wanted to say hello, and she said her question is, why is Mish your favorite person?
What? Why is all right? So in the chat, Mish is the only other person that can match my energy in the chat ever. Because I'm just that unhinged, and everybody, like, Leo is pretty tame. Leo, tame. Leo's tame, until it comes to trains, and then he's not tame. But Mish can match my comments. That's why she's one of my favorite people in the chat. There's a lot of great chatters and commenters that are great. But if you can't match my unhingedness, it gets boring. And I've got it to the point where Steve, your guys' Steve, literally has to turn off his chat.
Yeah, he turns the chat off. I have to tell him if anything good is going on.
Yeah, because it's so unhinged, and that's
he can't go to break him.
I do. That's why he earned the nickname the Dark Bite. He has to eat off camera. The Dark Bite. Oh man, so it's like I enjoy certain people. I enjoy like talking with people. If anybody knows that, if you know me and you know like my humor is it can be very dry, but it can be very like unhinged.
Oh yeah,
I don't like I don't candy coat stuff. I try not to.
Yeah.
I might lace comments in there. But it's just all a part of being a part of this sphere and being a part of this community. And that's the thing about our podcasts, was bringing this community together. And I want to give a shout out to, Bring Back the Magic, Josh and Gina. They are wonderful people, and they introduced me to a lot of the people that I know now within this community, besides sharing the magic and besides, you guys. I've got to interact with a lot of great people within these chats and within the trivias and within
I found you through them too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So being able to connect through them, it's been a great joy. So it's allowed me to be, befriend people within these chats like Mish, like Leo, like, you guys here. It's allowed me to do a lot. Yes. And I see Gavin, he goes, I love Star Wars. Gavin, I know you love Star Wars because we like fight every day. Yeah. If you look,
who
Gavin
doesn't love Star Wars.
That's because Zach's weird. That's why.
Zach is weird. It's okay. But if you look, Gavin,
I'm all right with that. It's fine.
It's okay. Look at the helmets that Shazzy has behind her. She's got, a Bo-Katan. Well, I know, but she has that Bo-Katan and Boba Fett behind there, and I know Boba Fett's one.
Mine is up there. Look.
Oh, look at yours! Wow, that's cool.
That's my armor.
There you go.
Well, half my armor, the other half's packed away.
But that's one thing about this Disney sphere, and that's why I love our show, Operation Magic, because we literally, I see your Boba behind you. Yeah, you got yours too. I don't have any Star Wars stuff. I got
a bunch, but they're in the other room.
Yeah, I've
got so much. Pretty much all those boxes that are in that cabinet behind me is full of Boba.
Oh wow!
I have a lot of Boba.
I wouldn't have made half these friends if it wasn't for this community, and I love the community for what it is, because I've been able to be unhinged in a way that Disney people don't really get to see a lot of.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the joy of that podcast and being a part of that podcast, because on Sharing the Magic, and not to talk badly about that, it's a great podcast. I wasn't able to be, because it's interviews. It's interviews, interviewing people like Bill Farmer, Caitlin Rohrabach, Tom Saito. People, I got to interview great people, and I love the interviews I got to be a part of. But being able to be more myself and being able to be more of this this version of myself turned up to 11 in a way, being able to entertain people through the concept of military and Disney, you don't get a lot of that, because at the end of the day, people see the military as a separate idea here, and then Disney's over here. You bring it, and it's like this whole, you don't really see the ties. And when I was in, I would go up every other weekend to Disneyland. I'd go buy base tickets. They were like $67 or $70 a ticket at the time for 2 days, and I would go to both parks and go have fun and whatever it was, and stay at the Tropicana or the Desert Palms or whatever it was there, and I got to, but you could always tell that I was a Marine because I had the high and tie or a medium regular or something crazy, and you could tell, but you never really understood why we were there. And it wasn't until I got older that I understood why I was there. And it was the outlet of why I wanted to be there. That was my outlet. That was my love. That was, besides sports and baseball and hockey and stuff like that, Disney was my first love, really. And if people don't think that like the military meshes well with Disney, that's weird to be going to Disney in the military. You should be going out and doing other things. And it's really not that weird.
No.
Obviously, they have the military discounts. They have the whole hotel and all that.
Shades of Green
over there.
Yeah.
At Disney World,
which takes advantage of.
Yeah. And so it's like,
yeah.
So it's really not that weird. It's just how you have to get around that idea. And for me,
I think because it's never really seen on social media and
No,
stuff
it
like that.
isn't.
It's
Exactly.
never talked about, and that's why it looks so foreign.
Yeah.
Which but
And
obviously
and that's why we did what we did. We wanted to make it less foreign. We
Yeah.
wanted to show that there are unhinged people walking through that park you don't even realize.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And it's like, I want to bring that to the masses of people. Josh wanted to bring that to the masses of the people, because if you can't bring that idea of unhinged fun and love and care of Disney to the masses, then you're missing out on something. Because I hate to say it, Walt was just as unhinged as I was.
Yeah.
I listened to Bob Gurr tell a story a couple years ago at Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet, and he talked about how Walt would just walk into his office and say, "We need this," and to walk out and just leave Bob to his devices and be like, Bob's like, "What? How unhinged do you have to be to walk in, give no instruction? I need this, figure it out." And
that's the thing. It's like he trusted his people, even though Bob would tell you, "I don't have that education. I didn't know how to make a roller coaster." So I went out and got a math book to learn how to do geometry and figure out how to make a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But Walt was a military man as well. So
he wanted to join, yes.
In a sense, he did more medics and stuff. Yeah.
Well, so the funny story about that, I was actually going to be in a radio drama that got canceled, because I do a little bit of voice work and radio work as well. And I was going to be in this radio drama about Walt. And refresh your page, Gavin, if it won't let you see the video. So he has, and it talked about how he was 16 trying to join the Navy because Roy was already in, and he got denied, and finally he joined the Red Cross. Yeah. And that's also where he picked up his habit of 2 packs a day, 3 packs a day. Is that, and it's like he had a love for the military, and to do what you did during World War I at that time, you have to be a little bit off your rocker to be doing. I'm going to be a medic. I'm going to do that medical field. I'm going to go pick up bodies.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, but it makes perfect sense at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and he had a love for the military because of Roy. Just restart. Just click your little tab bar, Gavin, up top, highlight it, and hit the enter button, and it'll refresh it. It should. But yeah, so it's like, for me, being able to mesh those two worlds, because I got out after 4 years, and I look at it as one of my greatest failures of ever doing is getting out after 4 years. I should have stayed in. I loved to hate the Marine Corps. Had it been any other service, I probably would have stayed in. But you don't recognize the suck until you're out of the suck. And I at times I really do wish I would have stayed. I wish I would have done my 20 and out and had more of that. But I'm happy I didn't, because I've experienced so much in life. I've got to work for Disney. I've got to write sports columns. I've got to interview wonderful people. I've honestly got to experience 9 different lives, 10 different lives in the matter of the last I've been out. This year I got out in 07, so it'll be 19 years that I've been out total.
Wow.
And in 19 years, I went to college. I got to go get a college degree. I got 3 of them because I wanted to apply myself. I've got to work for Disney. I ran a newspaper. I work within the radio industry now. I host a Disney podcast. I've made oogles and boogles of friends across multiple different spheres. I've worked road construction, which I loved doing that. I loved road construction. That hard labor was amazing. It showed me it showed me some sign of who I was in my life and where I was at that time. I've written a short film. I continue to write screenplays. I do so many different avenues of things that I never thought I would do had I stayed in, and it's all because, honestly, of my passion to be a creator and to create things. But it wouldn't have been spurned any further without the Disney and that love of Disney idea and Walt's idea of the park is never finished, and it all started with the mouse. And those ideas are very, very integral. I look back in my family history, and I'm related to Dr. Richard Gatlin, the inventor of the Gatling gun. And he was he was a failed inventor until that happened. He had little things. He helped with the cotton gin. He did different little things.
Yeah.
But his greatest success spurned from all his greatest failures.
Yeah.
And I look at this idea of you're only as good as your greatest failure at the end of the day. And if you haven't failed, then you haven't succeeded. I've watched a movie recently, and it's a movie I own, and I've watched it again. It's called Take Me Home Tonight, with Topher Grace and Anna Faris and Chris Pratt in it.
Yeah.
And there's that line that Michael Biehn says at the end to Topher Grace, because he's feeling like he's failed. And he goes, "You've only failed because you haven't tried." It's when you, it doesn't matter if you fail at what you do, just go out and try stuff, go out and do stuff. And for me, that's the same idea, is don't be afraid to fail. Failure is the greatest way to succeed. You learn from that. And that's what I try to tell my kids, that it's okay to fail. Don't be afraid to fail, because you're not going to be perfect.
No.
Life isn't perfect. It's messy.
Right. And you're never going to learn something if you don't go out there and try it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're not going to know if you like it or not, or if you're good at it, unless you go out there and do it.
Unless you give it a go. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because
these inventors and these people that are successful, they're not successful on their first go. They're successful because they've tried 19, 20, sometimes 99 times before and messed up, or it didn't work.
Yeah.
Walt's Cinderella was called, or the Alice comics were called Walt's Follies, until he made Snow White, and they're like, oh, well, we actually can do something.
Yeah. Well, because you think he failed. His studios failed multiple times. Like he went bankrupt a couple different times.
He almost went bankrupt making Disneyland too.
Yeah, and he didn't. If Disneyland had failed, he wouldn't have. Who knows where we'd be now?
Yeah, you're talking about this.
And it's funny. Oh, I don't know how to help you there, buddy. I don't know how to help you with your settings.
You know what the control button is?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do control R,
but hey, if you're able to listen, you're able to listen. So that works out too. But the one thing I tell Gavin, he's in the chat. Gavin is my precocious little 8-year-old, and I love him to death. And he's a big video gamer, and he's big into the Star Wars games. We have Jedi Survivor, we have Fallen Order. And I remember when he was first learning how to play Fallen Order, he wanted me to help him with everything, and that's fine. I didn't mind helping him, but I kept pushing him to do it yourself. You got this. You have no problems doing this. And he finally beat that game now several times on hard. Yeah. And now he's beat Jedi Survivor. He got it at Christmas time. He took him like a month and a half to beat it. Now he's playing it like this third time through, and he's learning how to do these things, and it's all through failures and trials and struggles and learning how to do stuff. And that's the one thing I try and tell him all the time. It's okay if you don't know how to do something, because you're going to learn really quickly how to do that.
Now you gotta get him the master of the internet here.
I know. Once I get him mastered, I think I'm trouble when he's mastered that. But the fact is he's got that brain for creating and wanting to learn and to have this idea of expansiveness. And and I blame myself for that, because I want him to be like, I want him to love the things that he loves, and he loves Star Wars. Well, that's because of Disney, and that's because of me. And it's without Disney, he wouldn't have this passion of some sort for these things. Yeah, he might like it, but it's all spurned because of Disney and Lucasfilm and the creations. And George Lucas, another great person who's failed multiple times.
Yep.
Yeah.
His greatest success.
He couldn't even sell Star Wars right away. Nobody
wanted it.
Nobody wanted it until Fox came around.
Nobody wanted it because they saw him as they saw him as the American Graffiti guy.
Yeah.
Nobody wants,
and even part of Fox, in order to sell it, he's like, "I'll take the merchandise deal," because nobody cared at that point.
And that's the greatest deal that ever happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that merchandise deal solidified Lucas, because it's like that gave him money to do Empire, that gave him money to do Jedi, and it's
exactly.
It's crazy. He took,
and it wasn't even a big toy manufacturer that took it up. It was Kenner, and they were like a little tin pot nobody at the time.
Yeah,
weren't
and
they?
yeah, you know, it's like look at that, and he took you know the CGI, and he turned it into this whole, you know,
the
whole
invented
thing.
Industrial Light and Magic.
Well, I mean, he invented Pixar, basically.
Yeah,
He pulled it off to Steve Jobs, who turned it around, and they did more CGI stuff.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is we wouldn't have him without FCC, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah,
because him and Coppola had that small studio in San Francisco before the Godfather.
And plus all the special effects ILM has done and created other studios based on that. And there's
it's like
he's pushed everything forward. So
and it's like these are people who invented things out of failure, out of wanting to learn how to do things, and that's why I push my kids, you know, to do all the things that are going to make them better, because if you're not failing, you're not growing. That's ultimately what it is. And I would love for all my kids to understand that concept of, if you're not failing, you're not growing. Life isn't easy. Life is going to be tough. And I took that out of my own hardships in life, from being this, you know, 17, 18-year-old kid, or even younger than that, you know, 10-year-old theater kid, learning how to be in the theater for the first time, to go join in the military, and my failures and my successes in the military, to being an adult and, you know, coaching sports and playing, you know, playing sports and doing all these things I've done to this point. You know, Operation Magic, we're still in the infant stage of what we're doing. We're within our first year. And I see it as a success. I see what we've done as a small success in life of what we've done. Because we only have 90 followers. I don't care about that. Those 90 followers are making that show better. Those
I always look at this. I always look at this as like, it seems like it's a small amount, but then you look at it in the broader aspect. You look at 90 people in a room that are coming to watch your stuff. Like, you know, like on this channel, there's over 700. You know, on mine, I'm close to 400. That's a lot of people in one place. Like, and they're all coming to watch you. Like. You know, they're not. It's not just a number. It's every number is a person, and you know. So even if you're gaining like 1 or 2, you know, every week or so, that's a new person that's, you know,
and that's
excited to see your stuff. You know,
exactly it, and that's how I took it when I decided to make my short film. That was the mentality I took into it. I go, I'm doing this because I want to do it. It's not about the people who like my page or how many views, and I've got like close to 300 people who's viewed my film. I'm like, that's a win. If I had one person view my film, that's a win.
Exactly.
Because I did this for myself. I did it to help other people. I did it on no budget. I did it with, I think my short film cost me maybe $2,000 to make total.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably mostly like lighting or something.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that. It was catering. It was like
the things that you don't think about until after the fact.
I catered the whole thing. That was $400 or $500. The hotel room, which was next to where I stayed, I shot it at the radio station that I volunteered through. There's a hotel that's butted up next to it, so a few $100s went to that for 3 days. So it's like all these little things. My actors worked for free. They worked for food because they wanted to be in this film. You know, the crew that I got, they all worked for food and wanted the experience. It was, you know, all these little things that you don't realize added up, but it did, like buying little lights here and there, or buying equipment that needed to be bought for that specific thing. And the experience of it all was great. I mean, everybody who worked on that film, it was a crew of like 11 people, the actors and all.
That's cool. That's cool.
We all doubled as something. I even had to act in the film that I didn't even want to act in. The actress I had bowed out. I was on a trip to New Jersey.
Fun note, I was looking at the film to try to grab your photo, but you're always like off to the side.
Yeah.
And I was like I told him right before to start, I'm like, I need a photo right now.
Yeah, and I said like 4. But the great thing is like I all those, everybody that did that, like we did it out of passion. And the actress that was supposed to act, I was on a trip to New Jersey and she sent me a message. I can't do it. I'm like, oh, I either have to kink the whole film or rewrite the script. So I rewrote it really quick. And it turned out marvelously. It turned out for a short film, a narrative film, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the creative mind. And I don't see it as to people who work in the industry, they might see it as a failure, quote unquote. In my eyes, I see it as a great success because I accomplished something that not a lot of people get to accomplish in life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You wrote something out and you made it, and it's exactly what you wanted it to be. That can't be a failure.
No. And so that's why I tell people, don't ever give up on your dreams. Don't give up on like what you want to do. Like Zach, you brought it up earlier. You know, you want to go work for Disney, you know, later on in life. Don't ever stop chasing that. Don't stop chasing
It's not
that
later
dream.
on in life for him.
It's right now.
No, I mean,
Right
he's
now.
so young. It's not later on for him.
I mean, don't be afraid of those failures. Don't be afraid of like being
Absolutely
told
not.
no. I
No.
tell people, you know, anybody who's in sales, I've worked in retail at times too, and I hate it too. But you know what? Every no is closer to a yes. I was recently watching Boardwalk Empire and Michael Shannon's character, you know, doing the iron sales. It made me laugh because he got a lot of no's, and then you got that one person that bought like 24 irons because, you know, whatever reason it was. But it's like that idea of being told no. People look at no as a bad thing. Being told no is not a bad thing in life. Being told no is just that one step closer to what your success is going to be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that's how I view anything I've done in my life. That's how like I said, from 10 years old to being this little actor kid to joining the military and to now working and doing this podcast and being here with you guys. I never thought in a million years, had you asked me 4.5 years ago, would I be being interviewed when I started this whole journey of doing podcasting and all this other stuff? You know, had you asked me, would I be being interviewed myself instead of taking pictures from musicians or interviewing them or working for magazines and stuff like that, I would have told you hell no. And it's funny because my first interview actually came at the radio station I volunteer at because I was shooting photography in the music industry, and I was asked to come on the radio to do an interview about myself.
Wow.
I'd never done that before in my life. Yeah, I'd hosted radio shows. I'd been, you know, I started podcasting when I was in college, when it was still in its infant stages of what podcasting would become eventually.
Yeah.
And never would I thought I'd be sitting here talking to a bunch of people about Disney and life and success and failures and everything else.
I did a few podcasts before I started my own. I never thought I'd be doing that either.
Yeah.
In fact, I interviewed with Mark and Udi, who we now share this platform with.
Yeah.
So Mitch has another question.
All right.
I don't know how I asked her this too. She doesn't reply, but she said, "Ask him when you're going to write her into one of your scripts."
I get that.
How are you going to do that off camera?
I tell people I get asked a lot, when are you going to write me into a script? When are you going to write me into this? Because my friends who know me, who from this sphere, they know I write. They've seen my movie. And I tell people it's hard to find a character to write for people. Because when you're writing, it's all in that moment. And it's all the story that you're telling.
Well, I mean, the whole purpose of writing a script is to not write something for somebody you know. It's for somebody you know to maybe go like, "Hey, I like that part. I want to."
Exactly.
Yeah. It's for someone to relate to as well, I think, isn't it? Like, oh, okay, I share similar qualities with this person, you know. And
well, I mean, but that's why they call it acting. Is you should not play yourself, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Entourage. It's funny because all the actors that they had are actors or sports personalities that they're turned up to 11 and for who they are. You see characters, you know, anybody who plays themselves in a movie, that's not who they really are. I love looking at the Weird Al movie that came out. You know?
Oh, that's so good.
I want to watch that.
It's a great movie, But
It's got Daniel Radcliffe in it, hasn't it?
yeah, well, and
Yeah,
it's funny because
yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe, you know, was talking. He goes, "This is not how Al is at all. It
No.
just Al only agreed to it if he had himself turned up to 11, like he was."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing with Madonna in the
Yeah.
movie. That never happened. But the
And
fact
the
is,
cartel as well when he goes to Mexico.
yeah, exactly. But he wanted this to be so outlandish that
Yeah.
it's not believable that it's them.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately how I view writing any character. It's like I could write a character for anybody, someone like Mish, Leo, anybody here. But would you feel authentic playing that part? Would it feel authentic to you? And
Yeah.
authenticity is such a huge thing when you're character building. You know, and that's why I was really shocked when I entered my film into some film festivals, and I got nominated as a finalist, or I was a nominee. So I was good enough, and with some of my peers in some of the categories that I put myself in for, in this movie in for, that it was good enough to be recognized at some level. And that's a success on itself, but it's all because of the characters that I wrote.
Absolutely, yeah.
Stories are told through the character. It's not through the writing. You have to have good writing for good characters. But you can have bad writing and still get a great character. I mean, look at I'll say look at the writing in New Hope to Jedi. The writing in New Hope is not very good overall. It's a great story. The characters are fun, but the writing was so-so. That's why it took so long to make and sell. It was the people who played those characters that made it great. Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, you know, Carrie Fisher. You have these people that were still kind of new, but they knew what to do.
Yeah.
It's all about writing. So I could write a part for anybody, but would it be authentic to you or what you want to do? Or, you know, I could write a horror film and have you killed off right away. That happens, you know.
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
A lot of people would.
I just want to die into the first 5 minutes.
Well, it's like what was that movie that had Michael Cera and Seth Rogen? It had them all playing themselves, but it's like the end of the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know. I can't think what it's called though.
I can't think of the name of. But it's like they were all amplified versions of themselves.
Yeah.
How was that called?
I can't remember either. But I just know that Michael Cera got smacked really hard by Rihanna. Like that was the real deal. But it's like the idea is these characters that you build. It's like Jay and Silent Bob. You know, Kevin Smith wrote those characters for him and Jason Mewes, and he never thought they were going to be as successful as they were.
Yeah.
But look at them now. You know, 25 years later of certain movies, 30 years. You know, one of the greatest scripts ever written was Dogma, in my eyes.
Yeah.
But it's because of the characters. It's all about writing, and I love writing. I don't even necessarily write these things to be sold. I love them to be sold or bought. I love somebody to find my stuff somewhere and be like, hey, I want to make this. But if it doesn't, I've written because I want to write. I enjoy the writing of stories. I love characters and storytelling, and that's all because of Disney. The storytelling, if you look at Disney storytelling, from the time that you watched your first Disney movie to now, characters matter. I hate to say it, Beauty and the Beast is one of the worst animated films ever written, but it's a great movie because of the way it was drawn, the way it was.
I think you'll find that Frozen is actually.
I will say Frozen too, and this is why. Olaf is one of the worst written characters ever. But the actor who played him made that character
Josh Gad.
great.
Yeah.
Josh Gad made that character.
And because of the song.
Yeah, well, Lin-Manuel, you know.
Oh, I just mean, but because people could sing a song with the snowman. So, by the way, this is the end. That was what it was.
This is the end. But yeah, so it's like there are certain movies within the Disney sphere that weren't very well written, and it's crazy because people don't realize that The Little Mermaid was actually supposed to be made in the 40s. It was supposed to be a different movie. It was supposed to be done through live action and animated. and it
Yeah,
was
supposed to be a hybrid,
MGM.
wasn't it?
And MGM decided that they wanted to go on and do something different, and the animation got scrapped until
Yeah,
1989.
like Mr. Olympus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
Who was hiding in the attractions, by the way.
yeah, he is. He sure is. But to me, it's one of those things that if you have good character writing, you have good, you it's like you said, Jay, you have to feel authentic in what you're doing, and it's like you can't write parts for people. People do, they write parts, but you can't write themselves. You have to write that character for someone.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do sometimes. And if you don't know certain people or their traits or who they are or how they are, it's not going to ever work. Go ahead. You're good. My oldest son, he's here right now. I miss you too, Gavin. Gavin is not home right now. He's out and about with mom, and he's not here at the house. So my oldest son came and asked me, "Can I go ride on the big trail with his friends across the street?" And my other son's off. He always watching this and hanging out, and I appreciate that. My kids are really invested in what I do. They think it's really cool that I make movies, or I'm on a podcast, or I tell stories, because it gives them hope for tomorrow. It gives them hope for what their future could be like.
Yeah, my nephew's kind of the same way. Like, he always wants to join in or whatever. Or he's like, "Oh, you're going to Disney? You're going to take me?" It's like, no.
Right.
Well, no, he's got his own family. He can go. But no,
right.
I actually was planning on trying to take him this last month, but then I got sick and I didn't go.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And I always, it's like, even on our podcast, like, my kids will pop out and they'll pop out on screen once in a while. I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, because they know that we record late at night, because Josh is a karate instructor, so he has to kind of do stuff off his schedule. He's got a wife and a young daughter,
right? And he's on the west or the east coast, so
it's like later. So I always try and incorporate my kids into somewhat of what I'm doing. Like, when I film my movie, I brought them to the set. I let them explore stuff. They got to eat dinner with us one night, which was the night we had pizza. When I didn't make food, I ordered pizza. It was easier to order Domino's than it was to make food a third night.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's like all these things that I just want my kids to experience. I want my kids to experience all these things that I never really got to experience growing up, because I came from a family that was lower middle class. My parents literally couldn't buy a house because they made $20 too much to get an FHA loan. And so I had everything I needed, and we weren't poor by any means, but we didn't have all these laps of luxury that kids have today. And I want my kids to be able to experience all these different things and to experience life the way I didn't get to. And it's hard to a degree, but it's all what you make it. And all these experiences that I've been able to do, I'm happy that I'm able to share some of that with my children.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. You want what's best for your children. You want what's best, to give them the best quality of life and stuff like that. So, yeah,
I think, I mean, a lot of what you're saying is like stuff that I do too. Like, you just got to do anything that you feel you need to. And you're involved in so much different things, and you're not afraid to go try those and fail at them, or hopefully not fail at them, but you're not afraid to go do those. And a lot of people don't take those chances. So
you strike out 100% on 100% of the chances you don't take.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you don't do it, you'll never know, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I should have done that." Or what?
Like, I started as this stage crew guy. I never acted, but I started woodworking in high school. I continued that. I started making signs. I did websites. All this stuff now too. So, yeah, I even have movie scripts that I've never even shared with people. So,
yeah, and I love sharing my work with people. I love sharing these ideas. I just, inside of what I'm doing right now, I've been working on a pseudo like noir Western style crime drama that's all based around songs that I've listened to by an artist by the name of Paul Cawthon. The title of the show is called Marfa Lights. Now, the Marfa Lights are something in Texas. They're a phenomenon in Marfa, Texas. They are like glowing orbs off into the desert distance, but it made for a great movie title. You know, two of the characters come from song titles, but it's created this idea of like a Criminal Minds meets Walker Texas Ranger idea of crime, but it's high action, high octane. It's, you know, it's their 30-minute, you know, if they were to be made into a movie or not a movie, but a show, they'd be what they call prestige TV, the realm of like 30 to 45-minute shows instead of, you know, these hour and 20-minute, you know, Game of Thrones style drama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
and it's because, and I don't want them to be these long 10 or 12 seasons, episode seasons. I want to be 6 episodes where everything's compact. It tells one compelling story from one thing to the next. And
I've always like, you know, as a kid, you watch a TV show and then you're like, oh, it got canceled. And like, why don't they just make it 1 or 2 seasons, and then if you have another idea, make another 1 or 2 seasons, and stop making these shows that just continue until they get canceled.
Yeah,
I mean, the greatest shows out there right now, that look at Law and Order. Law and Order is like the longest running crime drama.
And if you can, great, but most of these things don't do that.
No, you get to a pilot and it doesn't do well, or like, and
they run out of ideas or something, or it's surpassed what the original idea was.
Right, and that's why I like what I'm writing right now, is because I have 3 seasons in my head of how I want to build the story. If it goes into a 4th, great. But I have these ideas of how I want them to be billeted and built, and characters of how they're going to run up the ladder. And it's when you run into the gamut of these ideas, you know, G.R.R. Martin's a great writer, but he didn't, you know, finish his Game of Thrones, you know, scripts and books.
Yeah, and then and everybody's like, why'd you end it like that?
Yeah, exactly.
But they had to have an ending. They had to have something. And I'm not saying that, you know, Weiss and Benhoff didn't do their best that they could. They were given an outline of what the next stories might be, but it wasn't what the people expected.
And then, you know, and that's when, just like Star Wars, people are like, well, this isn't the sequels we wanted. But that's the story you got. Like, if you're not happy, then maybe write your own movie, you know? Like,
right, and that's what I tell anybody. If you're not happy with what you see, go out there and try and write something. It's hard. It really is. It's a hard thing to do because it's a whole different form of writing. It's not like writing a short story for school. It's, you have to really develop things. You have to develop characters. You have to develop people. And when you don't, you character development. I mean, I've written some of the easiest stuff to write. I'll tell anybody, start with holiday. If you want to learn how to write a holiday script. Because I mean, there's so much out there that you can learn from. There's a lot of great writers that wrote great holiday movies. One of my first scripts I ever wrote, and it's one of the ones I would love to sell. I took the idea of John Hughes writing and applied it to White Christmas.
Oh, cool.
And I love John Hughes' storytelling. I love the idea of White Christmas. And I just kind of morphed it into something different. And I wrote around these ideas. I wanted to have the punchiness of a Danny Kaye, Bing Crosby duo, but I wanted it to have the heart and the idea of a John Hughes film.
Yeah.
And I did that with an ensemble piece too that I wrote. And it's like I wrote, surrounded them around life events and holidays. And if you can write around those things, then you can almost dive into anything. Don't try and write Shakespeare because Shakespeare is Shakespeare. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to write Macbeth. You're not going to be able to write, you know, Hamlet.
Yeah.
You know, the greatest Disney retelling of Shakespeare would be The Lion King. Look at Hamlet. You know.
Yeah.
Still sucks though. I hate that film.
Why do you hate? Why?
I like The Lion King. I don't know. It's something about it. Like, I just don't. That is, other than Frozen, which I cannot stand. The Lion King is probably one of my least favorite Disney movies, especially from that period. Don't know what it is about it, but it just does not.
She doesn't like things made in 1994. That's why she's always.
Hello, my son was made in 1994. Thank you. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. I love Disney movies from around that period. I love Beauty and the Beast. Love Little Mermaid. Just cannot stand The Lion King.
It's funny because during our Disney bracket challenge that we're doing over at our podcast, I got pit. So The Lion King got pit up against Aladdin, and
Aladdin wins every time.
And I had to give and take a little bit. So I kind of let The Lion King slide through. But my argument was it's not the best out of that bunch of movies.
No.
No.
But
Jeremy Irons as Scar is absolute genius. And James Earl Jones as Mufasa is great. But I don't know, it's just something about it.
There's something about Matthew Broderick playing an adult Simba made me
You know what it could be? It wasn't made by the A team, it was made by the B team because they thought it was going to be a failure.
Some B team movies are good. Brother Bear. That was a great movie.
Brother Bear's fantastic. But I'm saying though, they didn't put as much effort into The Lion King because they thought it was going to be a failure.
Yeah, but it's still one of like Disney's biggest movies from that era.
Oh, it is
huge.
But it doesn't deserve to be.
And
I liked it. So.
People will fight me on this, and people like to fight me on this one. I tell them that The Little Mermaid was not the start of the Renaissance, and they get mad. People get mad.
What do you consider the start then?
Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company was the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
And people are like, that's not true. I go, yes, it is. Look at when it started. Look who took over, and look how it was written.
Yeah, Eisner. Yeah.
Yep. And they're like, no. I go, fight me on it. I'll fight it all day long. That's one of my all-time favorite movies, by the way, out of that era.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
But so in our bracket,
Emperor's
John,
New
like I was
Groove,
saying,
all the way.
What was it?
Emperor's New Groove.
That's a great movie.
Another totally underrated movie.
It is. But the reason I let The Lion King slide in the bracket to the next round because I want Star Wars to beat it out. I have A New Hope going.
Yeah, absolutely Star Wars.
So I had to do a little give and take there with Josh. But no, I'm one of those people that like there's very few movies out of that era that I'm like, that's a great movie. Lion King I love. It's not my favorite. I'd watch Aladdin over that 99 times out of 100.
Oh, I agree too.
Because of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Now,
The
voice cast was better for Aladdin in my eyes. The
story, Brett Kane, yeah.
The story wasn't as good in some cases as Lion King, but it's a better movie in my eyes. Because because all you're doing is retelling Hamlet, and that's why I told Josh all you're doing is retelling Hamlet. Go watch Hamlet if you want to watch Hamlet. You just dumbed it down for Disney audiences. Emperor's New Groove, great movie. One of my all-time favorite movies, Goofy movie, great Renaissance movie, made by a B team. Yep. So it's like, again, it all goes into writing. It goes into
of course,
who tells what. And it's funny. I was wearing I have a Roosevelt's power line button up.
Nice.
That's why I made that comment to Lou because I was making dinner last night. I go, Lou, how do you know I look good, right? Because although I was on camera, but no, it's one of those things. Bye, bud. I love you. Gavin's disappearing for a bit. That's fine. But no, I literally, to me, when it comes to writing, it's all about stories. It's all about the characters. It's all about how you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I truly.
On the flip side, though, you can have, because I've seen it time and time again, whether it's with like movies or like video games, you can have a really good story, but if the actors or actresses are not selling that role, it's the story doesn't present itself well.
No.
So you've got to have the good writing, but you've also got to find the right people to play that role that you've got in mind.
The audience needs to connect with that actor playing that role.
Yeah.
Oh, Batman and Robin. That's where I go with that one. I love as many of us, Batman '89 is one of the greatest Batman movies ever until the Nolan series. I loved Batman Returns. Great movie. Batman Forever leaned into the camp. I like Val Kilmer. It came off of Tombstone. Great. But you give me Bat Nipples with George Clooney and the story in that. Yeah, and then you got Arnold. Arnold was a good Mr. Freeze, but Poison Ivy was great with Uma Thurman, but the writing for that movie was terrible.
Trash. Oh yeah, it was awful.
I had a friend whose dad was dating Michelle Pfeiffer at the time.
Oh,
no way. That's cool. Dang.
Wow.
Dang.
Good for him. Good for
what a
him.
guy.
Disney connection here. And my brother can attest because he was there. So all three of us were at Disney, and his dad picked us up at Disney with Michelle.
Oh God.
No way.
I mean, I was like, we were like 12 or whatever. I don't know.
But even then.
Yeah, I mean, we knew who she was.
yeah.
But, we went to Burger King and I had like a shake and she's like, "Oh, that sounds good," and she got one.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
See, and I love stuff like that. It's like stories like that really tie the universes together. But you have to have again. She was wonderful as Catwoman. But people saw her as it was too provocative and it was too dark of a movie. And I'm like, but that's the story.
That's Tim Burton, though. I mean,
yeah.
Well, and if you look back even to the Batman 63 series, with Eartha Kitt and Julie Newmar.
Yeah.
If you look at how provocative they were sex symbols of the time.
And Eartha Kitt connection to Disney.
Yzma. Yep. Yeah, and
he also was the one who sung Santa Baby. I didn't even know that for a while.
Yeah, Santa Baby. Yeah.
Eartha Kitt,
Madame Zeroni from Holes.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake! I wondered how long it'd be before you brought that piece of junk up.
But you know what? Holes, great script.
Thank you. Oh no, absolutely not. No,
it's a piece of crap.
No, it's not.
Even into my life, I'm never going to get back.
I will give it. I'll give it as a good script, but terrible acting.
Oh, see, no.
One of Zach's favorites. He made me try and watch it. I made it through.
Are you a Shia LaBeouf guy? Do you like?
I like Shia LaBeouf. I grew up with Shia LaBeouf with Even Stevens.
I was going to say you're Even Stevens guy.
Yeah,
There's
100%.
Another movie he made like right around the same time. It's called The Battle of Shaker Heights.
Yep, I remember that movie.
Yeah, Battle of Shaker Heights. Yeah.
I love how they.
But like the Transformer movies were so good with him.
No, they were
so good. They were so good.
Yeah, the first two, and then it's like
first two, and then it fell off.
The third one was a bit.
Yeah, the third one was but
and then you gave us Kingdom of a Crystal Skull with him and ruined India forever.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I will give you that one. Yeah.
This is why I'm so big on script writing and storytelling.
Yeah.
That movie would have been great had they not leaned into the stupid
fucking aliens,
and the stupid nuclear explosion in the refrigerator.
Yes, absolutely.
What?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that doesn't work.
It's not. I mean, the red ants. I could see the red ants doing. That's an Indiana Jones ploy with the snakes, and I can see all that.
Yeah.
But when you lean into the alien idea, and that was big in that era.
Well, I mean, that's Spielberg in general. E.T. He's movie he just came out with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all about aliens. So
he is. He really is. But Spielberg is a great writer.
Men in Black too, by the way. The end of Men in Black.
Oh, yeah, Men in Black. Yeah.
But there's different things within the realm. But you brought up Spielberg. That's a guy who was not afraid to fail, though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not afraid to fail. He knows his failures. Jim Cameron, another one, not afraid to fail.
Yeah.
People who aren't afraid to fail succeed very well in whatever they're doing.
Oh, I mean, look at James Cameron, like Avatar, Titanic, two of the biggest grossing movies like of all time.
Yeah, well,
of like
Terminator, so
yeah, that's what I mean. Like insane.
And when he wrote
the
Terminator,
Abyss is classed as a failure for him, isn't it?
It is, and it's a great movie.
I like it. It's fantastic. It's one of the best movies.
But Terminator, he didn't think was going to be successful. Nobody wanted to buy it, and it was funny because Arnold didn't want to play the Terminator. He wanted to play Michael Bihn's character.
Oh, wow.
And he sat down in an interview with Jim Cameron, and he was trying to tell him how the Terminator should look, how he should walk, how he should feel. And Jim goes, "Why don't you just play him?" He goes, "I don't want to." He goes, "That's not what I want to be." He goes, "But you're perfect because of the ideas that you're presenting."
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah. And then one of the most iconic characters ever. When you think of Arnold, you think of Terminator. Like, I can't think of anyone else playing that character.
Well, yeah, but I also think of him in Predator.
Conan?
Oh, Predator.
No, Predator.
Oh, Predator. Good
and
movie.
in Conan, but Predator.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
But again, people going to characters and writing characters, it's
Mm-hmm.
all about how you view those characters and how people view those characters and want those
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And writing specifically for someone or writing them into a script, it's really hard. If I'm going to kill them off, that's easy. I can give them 2 lines and they're dead. That's not a problem.
Okay, if you write something, we'll all be dead in 2 lines.
Yeah, you say your 2 words and then you're dead. Or
I want to go in a good way, please. Don't make it
a wood chipper. I might throw you in a wood chipper.
No.
I want somebody to kill me off, and I look at their shoes, and I'm like, their shoes.
Their shoes. They're green. No, the wood chipper idea came from Deadpool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's in Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's funny how Brad Pitt made his appearance in Deadpool too.
Yes.
10 seconds.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And that's how Ryan Reynolds sold the film. Brad Pitt's going to be in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How long is he in it? 10 seconds?
Yeah, he wasn't wrong.
He was in it.
He was in it.
I mean, I classify that as one of the greatest movie cameos of all time, but it was well written for that character.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, the first Joker movie?
I didn't even watch it.
So good. So good.
The first one, I loved that take on Arthur Fleck. Oh, such a great writing.
With Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
But the second one?
The one that wasn't a musical, but was a musical.
Yeah. And I wanted it to be so successful because Harley Quinn is one of my favorite comic book characters.
Oh, absolutely. She's so good. Her origin story is so,
but
I think, so unique, really. Like, psychiatrist turned villain.
Insufferable.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like the origin story of Harley is great.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's anything from comic book universes, you kind of have to stay within a linear perspective.
Yeah.
That's why I look forward to the next round of Marvel movies. That's why I loved the iterations that we have had of Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the best fit so far.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to the new
I actually really loved Andrew Garfield on his one too.
I love Andrew Garfield, but to me, Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man, quote unquote.
My Spider-Man. Yeah, Tobey Maguire for sure. Yeah,
he's the one who's most true to the comic books at this point.
Yes, yeah.
But
it looks like Tom Holland's going that way as well with Brand New Day.
It fits in the MCU better.
The Maguire stuff was Sam Raimi, which
was Sony.
Yeah.
And Sony dropped the ball, honestly. I think Sony dropped the ball. Sam Raimi wrote great scripts, but Sony dropped the ball.
Yeah,
especially with Spider-Man 3 and the way they did.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was
everybody says, Marvel got going with Iron Man, but Spider-Man with Raimi is really where people were interested.
Yeah,
that was able to take off from there.
Marvel got going with Blade.
Blade was insanely good. Yeah.
But
Spider-Man put it up on a whole new level.
Yeah, it did. Yes.
And then they were like, "Oh, we can do Iron Man now." Like,
I really want them to do something else with Wesley Snipes as Blade before he gets too old to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, I like the cameo, and the funny thing is he started it all, but the longest running character up until he made his return was Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
As Wolverine, yeah.
20, we had 25 years, 26 years of him being Wolverine, and then Wesley Snipes.
Boom! Wesley Snipes comes in. Hell yeah!
But that to me, that's the predication of good writing.
100%. Yeah.
It's this is the way I view, and this is like how I view our podcast or whatever I do in general. I legitimately look at it from the story that we're trying to tell. And how you're trying to tell that story. Deadpool and Wolverine would have sucked if it was Deadpool and Friend.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you threw the Deadpool and Wolverine into that, you put the
That
Wolverine
dynamic, it works so well. It's hilarious. It's so good.
and
Plus, we got lots of X-Men back on the screen, which is good because I love
Well,
the
I mean, not
X-Men.
only
Yes, I
that, but
love
you
the
have the
X-Men.
Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman, Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
banter back and forth.
Yeah. Oh
Not
yeah.
even
Yeah.
just because of the characters, but because it's them two.
Because of the actors, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're such good friends in real life, and they can do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I viewed. So I'm going to kick it back to the 80s. Even look at Trading Places. Trading Places is a great buddy comedy. That movie.
Yeah.
That movie.
That movie.
It's so funny.
It's a great
kills
movie.
me, and it's because of the dynamic that Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd had. That was the only movie
Oh,
they
100%.
ever
Yeah.
did. That movie was originally written for Gene Wilder and oh gosh, Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Yeah. I can see that, to be fair. Yeah. Because that would have been the time like Blazing Saddles came out and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
And they didn't want to do it. And if you look at it, it takes this dynamic of people who understand the form that they're presenting. And Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have that sort of sensibility with like like Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd did in that movie, and it made sense.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's again, writing is a passion of mine. So when people, like I said, say, "When are you going to write me into this?" I can't do it. I just it has to. You have to fit. It has to fit what I'm writing, and if you don't fit.
Unless you're going to kill him off and stick him in a wood chipper.
Hey, that's easy. That's an easy thing.
That's not a challenge. He wants a challenge.
Yeah, I just said that because I knew I'd raise a little ire out of Shazzy. No,
you got to chop them up with the axe into little bits. There you go.
I want to be chopped up.
You know,
Shazzy gets into a wood chipper, I'll get run over by a Zamboni.
I mean, I can always do the Shining ending for you, and freeze you to death.
There you go.
Where's Steve when I need him to like stop you being mean to me?
He's being the dark bite. He's off doing Steve things. He's not here.
He was watching us from bed.
Oh, is he sick?
He is sick. Yeah, he's still not.
Oh, it's still not.
No, he's not got over it because every time he gets a bit better, he goes and does something strenuous and then breaks himself.
Well,
again.
like my congestion keeps coming back too.
Mm.
I can't get rid of this shit.
Oh, that's rough. I know. I'm in the time of year where it's cherry blossoms are killing me.
Yeah. Hay fever's a killer.
I'm getting punched in the face left and right. It's fun. Not like I've been punched in the face before, but I mean.
Can arrange that. Steve's good at punching people.
Yeah.
No, it's one of his favorite things to do.
I used to love doing that too. Bar fights and me, we're not, we're good friends at one point. No, I just for me, I like I said in the chat the other day, I'm one of the most interesting people you could probably interview because I've done a lot. I've experienced a lot. I have stories for days from Disney to the military to now what I'm doing, and I enjoy being able to share. Yeah, well, that too. I got my degrees in communications and journalism. Why wouldn't I enjoy talking? I was told I should be a public speaker at some point.
Yeah.
Which I've tried to do, and that's hard. Trying to get into that field.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to talk, just not me.
Yeah.
No, I've enjoyed everything to this point in life, and I still am enjoying things.
That's good. You love what you do what you love. That's what they say.
My drama teacher told me in high school, and she told all of us this because we always used to ask her, why do you keep teaching? Why do you keep doing this? Because I love what I do. When I stop loving it, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Exactly. It does the same for me. I love working. I've done childcare since first job I ever had. I qualified when I was 18. I've been doing it for pretty much half my life, and every day is something new. It's a new challenge. It's there's never a dull moment. It's always exciting. It's always something new every day. No day is the same. Like I love waking up and going to work, and even if I'm having a bad day, like the kids make it that much better. It's just wonderful to be able to be part of that and just watch them grow and be part of their life a little bit. And
Right.
I've had kids come up to me who I've taught, who I've taught and who've grown up, and they're in high school and like, hi, Mr. Campbell. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Last time I saw you was like 9 years old. Like, what's going on? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so strange.
One of my first,
I love it.
It's funny that you say that. One of my first mentors I met when I was 8 years old. I was in third grade, and he's still been my friend this year. He was my third grade teacher's assistant, then he ended up being my 8th grade teacher, and I graduated and I went on into life, and we still talk every day. My friend Thomas Nelson, I've known him for 33 years, and I met him when I was 8 years old in third grade.
Wow.
And he's watched me in the same sort of thing. It's like he's a mentor to me. He's someone that that showed me the love for comic books. Even I was that weird kid in third grade that loved comic books and loved Batman, like the Batman animated series. And he worked at the Comic Castle at part time, and it was like awesome. I have this person I can kind of relay stuff to. So when you're able to impact people's lives that way, you know you've done your job. And that's the one thing I just want to leave my imprint on this world is if I've done my job, if I've impacted somebody's life through what I've said today, through what I've said previously in the past, through any unhinged moment I've had on our show, which have been many, then I've done my job as a person. Internet, it's telling me, James, you got to go. It's time to go.
Well, speaking of,
so up here, whichever way, I'm backwards.
Yeah, that way.
That way. I'm not used to this. So it's up over in the corner by where Jason is. Go ahead and hit scan that. Come check us out. We have quite a few episodes out. If you're trying to catch up, you're not far behind. You're never far behind. You can always follow us on Instagram, Operation Magic on Instagram. We have, if you want merch, we have a merch store.
Sorry, this is the Instagram.
That is okay. Follow us on Instagram. You find us on YouTube. You can get to all our links, our shop, everything. We definitely enjoy interacting with you all. We enjoy having moments with everybody. I've enjoyed being here with you guys.
Yeah,
I appreciate being, interviewed for the fact that I never thought I would be. I thought I was going to be a kid from Northern California that just didn't impact, that didn't have an impact on anybody overall. And the fact that I'm here impacting people that I met through this sphere.
When we first started chatting together, I was like, this guy's awesome,
Yeah, we just knew. Like that was it.
Part of our
you're one of our people. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Shaz. The thing that made an impact on me was M telling me she wanted to hang me in her closet and not let me go anywhere.
That was
funny. Yeah.
So it's like that's how I knew I was with my people. That people are like, I'm just going to keep you here. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I like you. You're weird. I'm going to keep you.
Yeah, I'm going to keep you. You're my pet now.
Yeah.
My friend.
Yeah, so I truly appreciate that. I appreciate being a part of your guys' community. I appreciate when you guys allow me to come on and just, be a part of whatever you have going, when I'm not in the trivia, when I'm not doing certain things. I enjoy just interacting.
Speaking of trivia.
Tomorrow, yes. One that I'm not going to do very well at.
So as we mentioned, but since Theo says see you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
our trivia, which is going to be our first non-Disney trivia.
Yeah, it's Universal and
Jurassic
Park.
Jurassic Park, but it separated. But yeah.
Okay,
it's the Jurassic Park universe, isn't it? Like the movies. And,
okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Any other movies?
Is there going to be
Universal? Anything not?
Is there going to be a bare-chested Jeff Goldblum in it? I have to know.
You'd have to add
maybe.
You might have to.
There could just be one big pile of shit.
Who knows?
It might be that too.
Now, does that include the new Xfinity commercials that they have put out?
No.
Okay, good. Because those are terrible. Those are terrible. But no, I look forward to it. I always look forward to you guys' trivia. If you guys, this is my plug for you guys. Anybody who's out there listening, watching this later, come do these things. It's such a fun group to be a part of. It's such a fun chat, regardless if you get any of the answers right. We're always giving each other hell. I'm always sure to be saying something wild and crazy. Inappropriate, yes. You know, I to end it on this note. Perfect timing, by the way. To end it on this note, and it goes away. You brought up Brother Bear. And this is what I talked about good writing. This is when bits transcend into movies. Strange Brew is within the Brother Bear universe.
Okay.
The mooses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the moose.
I think Aaron Blaze is the one who, he was the artist, but he also, I believe, directed it.
Yeah.
He actually did his own short called Snow Bear, but I think he's a fan of like Martin Short and all that. So
yeah. So if you think about Strange Brew with Rick Moranis and Martin Short and all the other, it's like the mooses are straight from that movie. And I laughed every time I see it. I'm like, this is
you shut up.
Yeah, this is the Strange Brew universe all over again. And that's when good writing transcends, and that's when a good podcast, when you have a good podcast, you have a good cast and crew. And that's how I kind of like in this too, is like it's a family, and we're all like those mooses from Brother Bear and the characters from Strange Brew in some weird way. So I appreciate you all. I appreciate the time you gave me today. And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Like I said, it's been fun, and I'm sure we'll see you again on the chat.
Oh, we'll see him tomorrow. He'll be giving us jip in the chat.
Yeah, I might be. I might be sticking it to you. I might be putting Shaz through a wood chipper. Who knows?
Well, you'll have to come and write the trivia questions if you do that.
Oh, I don't want to do that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm safe then.
All right,
guys, take care.
Well, like I said, you can follow him here, and you can like and subscribe to us as well. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bloody peace.
Every time. I'll keep doing it until it stops annoying you.